This thing behind me, this big vine that comes out of this big palm tree right there, comes all the way down into the road. It's really interesting. I did a vlog on this last year around January. It's a big vine consisting of all these roots that go all the way up to this tree. And then somebody has managed to somehow tie a giant knot in here so you can actually come down here and swing on this thing. It is the funniest thing, and it sticks out in the road about 2 or 3 feet down this street. I can't remember, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the street, but it's just such an interesting thing. I had to come down here and get some video of me swinging on it. I thought it was just, it's funny. It's interesting and weird and funny and all the things that make things weird and interesting. It is what that is. So anyway, another interesting thing in this neighborhood, I started jogging here in 2015 just because it has a lot of history. A lot of these houses were, I think, built maybe in the 20s or 30s. So it's a pretty early neighborhood as far as Sarasota is concerned, because Sarasota didn't really start growing that much, I don't think, till like the 40s and 50s. But anyway, another interesting thing on this street is this seemingly normal house with painted trees. This tree is painted red. You can see this one over here is purple tree. And they also got some interesting like bowls and some cool little trees. These little trees are pretty cool. But they decided to paint this tree. It's white here and purple. Also the palm trees are painted. It's very interesting when you come by because you've got a lot of classic, normal, nice looking houses. Then you come by this one and the trees are purple. I'm not going to be able to tell you the name of that tree again. Every time I see these trees, which are really cool trees that end up being like really big, I can never think of the name. But I like their creativity. They also painted like some of the sidewalks red and purple. But as you drive by, you'll see these palm trees are all purple. Another interesting area in the area on Sarasota Avenue and Corwood Drive. You know, I never knew there was a Sarasota Avenue for like the longest time. Up until about a year ago, I had never heard of Sarasota Avenue if you had asked me. Although I live in Sarasota, it's kind of off the beaten path. Anyway, in this seemingly normal looking area where there's these normal houses, very normal looking area, if you walk down here, not the speed limit sign, but this little mini castle house that is really super awesome looking. It's got all these little stained glass windows, and it almost looks like they've made the windows at the top small to make it look bigger, some kind of like visual aesthetic. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was made by, or it was designed by the guy who made the Katazan, John Ringling's house. I thought I heard that somewhere when I was looking it up in the paper, but he actually made 2 of these. It's just the awesomest looking house. It looks like some little cottage that belongs in the country somewhere. And I think the stairway is this part where it looks like a kind of like a little, I don't know what it is, little stained glass windows over there. Let me get a close-up of those stained glass windows. They're so cool. But very awesome stained glass. And you've got this one, I don't even know what you call that design, but like a little box window type thing, and the little arch doorway. It's just such an awesome detail. I think these might have been right around the 20s. Yeah, and as you just climb around by, the trees kind of hide some of these, so if you're not really paying attention from an angle like this, you wouldn't see this house. And then there's another one hidden behind this little ivy fence type thing, which is just like this one over here, except there's a lot of bushes in the way and you really can't see it. I actually stopped and talked to this lady. She wouldn't let me go in, but it actually looks like it's something from a movie, doesn't it? With all the grass kind of grown up and stuff, but very similar design with kind of like a little archway door and the little staircase with the windows on the side. And I think it's been redone a little bit. I think the lady said she was redoing it. I think maybe it would look a little bit cooler if the trees weren't in the way. You could see from back here a little bit better. The top there but just like, it's like a little mini house. I don't know what the size is, but if you can get an idea of the size of it from this, but just awesome. And it just sits right in this normal neighborhood where there's just regular, normal ranch style 1-stories, and they got these little cool houses. Look at that gigantic spider left over from Halloween. That is like probably the biggest, the most gigantic spider. Looks like it's about 3 feet wide. So I was just talking to these real estate people from Keller Williams, because I was getting ready to film this house, and she actually walked up to the, I caught her like walking toward the house, and I thought she lived here, and I was like, oh, I better, you know, I don't want to like make the lady mad. So anyway, they just talked about, we were just sort of talking about the neighborhood and how there's all these cool houses around here and stuff, and very interesting history, and they're pretty knowledgeable about what's going on in here too. I guess Keller Williams is the largest real estate company in the world or something. I don't know. Anyway, the reason why I'm in front of this house is because there's a window. This is a new house, they told me. This window is a fake window. It's like painted on like a stained glass window, but you wouldn't really notice it right away because the trees sort of grow in there. But if you look at it for a minute, you can kind of tell there's no real glass in there. It's just painted there, and the rest of the windows are all sort of normal. So the house isn't like all that interesting. It's just the window aspect makes it interesting. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. When I'm walking around, I just sort of notice these things. It's like one of those things. I was telling them the only way to really pick up on these interesting houses and neighborhoods is just to really walk through here and look. Another thing that's kind of different about this neighborhood, they've got these art statue sculptures. Yeah, it's a sculpture. This one's called Synergy. It's kind of just a lot of square shapes and stuff, but as you go through a lot of these areas that have sort of what would you call this, a little island of land here, they put sculptures around here. There's one across the street. If you look right over there, there's actually some kind of sculpture. The weird thing, I always think sculptures have to make sense. Like, it has to be something. Like, what is that supposed to be? I always find myself saying that. I can't just admire it. I was like, well, what is that supposed to be? I don't think it's supposed to be anything. When I was talking to those real estate people just a second ago, I was talking about how houses are here one day and they're bulldozed and somebody's building a new house. Well, right here, it's hard to believe, right where this house was is an empty lot now. They bulldozed that house, and I don't think there was anything wrong with the house. I think they're just probably going to build something bigger. This place is very easy to spot because it's sort of right on the corner here. It's got this neat looking, like, I don't know if that's called a bell tower, but that part right there is very awesome. This very cool tree out front, and it looks a little bit like a castle, kind of. The little arches always make me think of castle. The archways. Looks like they put some new, more modern windows in, but a very cool house. I love and part of it actually looks like some kind of southwestern feel with all the type of stone walls. And see how they have that like little round tower thing right there? It's very interesting architecture. I love the garage door that has like a simulated wood and the flagstones. Just it really screams like 1920s Mediterranean something. Mediterranean Southwestern. As we work our way down the street, you've also got this super awesome like mini mansion. This part right here, I think, is like a guest house, and it's got this old classic wall that is just, it reminds me of like a Hollywood type of house, like something you would see in Hollywood or something, or in California. I was sort of like putting pieces together, and I was thinking like how John Ringling bought up a lot of this land, I think. And it seems like maybe a lot of people that were either just wealthy or knew John Ringling decided to come down here and spend money on a winter home, because Sarasota's pretty much warm all year round. But look at this, look at how awesome this place is. And it's like in fantastic shape. I love the like coat of arms or whatever you call that thing. That little thingy there, crest or whatever they call that, but It's in such nice shape. I would love to be able to go in there and just take a little look-see inside. I guess it's a 3-story because you can see there's like this little room up top up here too. This is one of the more noticeable places that's the larger compared to, like, say there's some more modern homes across the street over here. But I just love the whole package here with the big palm trees and the wall and the wrought iron fence. I think it has a historical sign here, say it's registered as a historic place. I don't know really anything about the history other than it's just historically awesome. So as I've been reiterating, if you just take the time to walk down the street sometime, you'll see the most interesting stuff sometimes, like this big pink building that's over there. We're right here at Delmar Avenue and Westmoreland Drive, and this is Whitfield Estates. And you got another seemingly normal looking neighborhood, okay? Normal looking house here. And as you walk further down the sidewalk, good morning, how you doing? You'll see this interesting looking wall that looks like it belongs in some movie or something. With this like kind of keyhole looking wall that's like so weird. And then you see these, what, Chinese dragons here. And you can see there's a gateway, kind of like a Chinese gateway here. Up here. Well, as I was walking down here, I actually saw the owner again after I'd already shot a video and talked to him. You come on down, you see this interesting little gazebo type thing. Jerry's hiding back here somewhere. You still hiding back there, Jerry? You still back there? No? He was just here a minute ago, I swear. And as you come on down the property here, you see this really great house, which I have to remember what the name of it is. The guy who originally was in here that sort of made this place famous, his name was Chick something. There's a memorial plaque and it says the name of the house. I guess I'm gonna have to go up there and look real quick. Okay, so I just asked him. There's Jerry right there, hiding. Oh, he went into hiding over there. Chick Austin, and it has the plaque up there that calls this the Chick Austin house. I don't know how long Jerry's owned it, but you can see it's got some fantastic windows here, and he's done some work to it. I actually did a vlog of this. I'll put it up in the top of, I'll put the link in the top of the video to the Chick Austin house. He actually just gave me permission to walk around a little bit. I just kind of sort of wanted to get a shot of the house. It's got a fantastic, right in this big tree right here, it's got a tree house that he had built, a custom tree house built right there. We'll go skip around the back real quick. I'll just show you a little sneak peek of the backyard. This guy just started up his mower just now, like 2 seconds ago. There you can sort of see the house, and he's got a, what do you call this thing? I can't think of the name of it. He's got a little house hutch, a Chinese little kazota with a pond back here and all these great statues. Just a little sneak peek. He's an art dealer and an antiques collector, and he put all this stuff in himself. You can sort of see a little bit of the porch there, some really cool statues, and he said he did all this landscaping himself. It's really beautiful when you're up in the balcony up here on the second floor and you're looking down toward the courtyard. It's really nice. And check out this wall. Is this like the most bizarre wall you've ever seen in your life? That is like so amazing. Just a little pass through to the neighbor's yard. But there's the gazebo right there. Fantastic house. He says he's selling it this month, I guess, so I don't know if they're gonna change it much. He says the lady wanted to change the interior, but anyway, super awesome guy, Jerry. He let me tour the whole house, I think about 6-7 months ago. Like I said, I'll put the link in. Just this is sort of a piece of resistance, because it's like one of the few houses out here that I've ever been able to get into. We'll back up here just a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the second story. Yeah, he's personally done some renovation and put a porch on, or put like a balcony on and stuff, so Fantastic house. I think this is going to do it for our little weird and wacky house tour. I hope you enjoyed this kind of different thing. Like we talked about earlier a couple days ago about how I was feeling a little sort of off my game. I think I'm sort of kind of back motivated again to do videos and got a lot of ideas flowing, and hopefully things are going to be sort of back to normal. And check out this awesome Chick Austin house. You can actually, I think you can Google this Chick Austin house and you can find out some information about it. But like I said, I did a whole video on it, so if you want to check that out, click on the link. So we'll see you guys later. I think I hear him whistling over there. We'll see you in the next video, guys. That's it for the weird and wacky weird houses in the Whitfield, North Sarasota area. It's a great day to be out, isn't it? We'll see you guys later. The houses in this neighborhood are so different. It's not, there's no single style. There's a lot of cars coming down the street. A lot of cars and trucks and cars. I hate shouting over cars. The style in this neighborhood, and I don't even know what the name of the neighborhood is. I'm gonna call it the Bayshore neighborhood because this is Bayshore Road here. The lady keeps coming out in front of the house. Huh. There's a lady in a red jacket that's in front of the house. Over there. I was going to talk about her house, but she's like walking around the street, so. Huh. Maybe I'll go try to talk to her and see what she says, if she can talk to